Welcome back to Shemsuniverse. So today, guys, we're going to discuss the relationship between Cancer and Sagittarius. So this is a mix between fire and ice. It's fire and water. These two do not get along that well. This is not one of the most compatible zodiac signs out there. I'm going to get into that more today, but I also want to make sure I give you guys the proper solutions when you find these not so compatible sun signs that come together. Always remember before I continue that your personal horoscope is an individual fingerprint of your own cheat code to the universe. So just because I'm saying your sun signs don't get along, you guys can have corresponding moon signs that get along perfectly and also ascendants that get along. All three of those are very, very important to know before coming to any conclusions as of whether or not somebody's perfect for you or not. But I'm just strictly talking right now about sun signs. In the future, I may do chapters on ascendants and moon sign compatibilities as well. But for now, I'm just strictly primarily just on the sun signs, just so you guys know how that actually works. And then I'll move on later on to other things. So with Sagittarius and Cancer, what you have is Cancer that is a cardinal sign. And this is the first disagreement they're going to have. Cardinal signs in general, like Aries, like Cancer, they're very much about being the starters, the initiators of things. Even though Cancer is a water sign, they still like to start things. They're quick to even start a business, to start budgeting, to start a workout routine, whatever it may be. They're quick to do it. So when they meet somebody who's a Sagittarius now, like a Gemini, a Sagittarius, Libras, they're mutable signs. Mutable signs have a bit of a weakness for sticking with things and not really following through on their activities or what they say they're dedicating their lives to. So this is the first disagreement these guys are going to have just in general, whether this be through business, an intimate relationship, or friendship. So when you get this, I'm going to say it from now. Altogether, these guys are just 27% compatible, like altogether, meaning in any of those three realms. So when you get the intimate relation first, when you get somebody like a Sagittarius who is more used to getting attention, they have Jupiter as their planetary influence. They like to feel special. They like to really be at the center of the universe aside from the sun. They even array more energy back to the sun than they receive. So these guys are very robust in personality. They're very seductive. They're very much able to socialize and really adapt to different situations. Then you get Cancer, that's more like a home cat, somebody who wants to just be home, surrounded by people that they love and have that privacy aspect to them. So when these two get together in an intimate relationship, you have the Cancer that's saying they're putting all of their energy into fixating on making the relationship happen for starters, and then making sure that it actually goes for a lifetime. Whereas Sagittarius isn't thinking of it like that. Even if they're saying they fell in love, they're thinking of it in the sense of, well, I'm in love right now, and whatever happens, happens, just go with the flow type of thing. Cancer doesn't really like that. They're very much more security oriented. So that's the first disagreement. The next one would simply be in their elements. Water and fire, they don't really bring the passion out of each other. A lot of polar opposites still can get along. With these two, not really. And because the fire is through Sagittarius, that's changeable, that sometimes is passionate, sometimes is not, that could lead to certain disagreements that just lead to a bit of friction when it comes to the relationship. And then you're going to get the Cancer person who is a cardinal sign, who's just going to want to start and initiate things much quicker. So that water element is going to be very intuitive. There's going to be that clairvoyant, and they're going to want to make sure they're making things happen. So when you get that sort of alignment together, it's kind of like the water is canceling out the fire and then making it so the fire is not feeling as passionate as they could be. A Sagittarius likes to feel free most of all. So when they feel like somebody's nagging at them to be in a relationship, that starts to lead to them not wanting to be in that said relationship. And that doesn't always work for everybody, but with Sagittarius, they're really just not having it. Another important aspect here, to go to more of a positive thing, is that Jupiter is exalted within Cancer. So when you have Jupiter there, meaning somebody like a Sagittarius with a Cancer person, usually the love is kind of one way, where the Cancer person, like I've been saying, is going to give that energy to the Sagittarius, and the Sagittarius is going to receive it and feel very special and be like, yeah, this person's in love with me. And then they, in turn, they somewhat take them for granted. My advice here is to the Sagittarius is that 90% of the time, the Cancer person is doing what's right to make the relationship last, but you guys need to put forth more effort to make sure that you're making your partner feel special and appreciated, because the Cancer people, out of a lot of the zodiac signs, are the best when it comes to relationships and loyalty. So if you're not going to actually stick with this person, you may find yourself in a bad situation in the future just due to a karmic debt. Okay? Moving on, we have the business relationship between these two. Sagittarius can be people that are very intellectual, they're smart, they're analytical, but they can cut and run when things get tough. Cancer people have a very economic view of the world. They want to make sure their finances are always set in stone. Like I said, they're very security oriented, not just for themselves, but for their family. So if a Cancer person is somebody that starts a business, I'm almost 100% sure they're going to succeed in that business, because they're saying their life depends on it. That their life, they take it very, very seriously. They understand their loved ones are requiring them to do this and be competent at it. So when you put that task in front of a Cancer, their emotions and their passion, everything is going into that to make sure that they set like a piece of art in place. With Sagittarius, it could be a logical decision, yeah, but like I said, they're mutable. And just like in business, it's the same thing. They might cut and run when things get tough. And because of that, the Cancer person might get irritated. They might be taking on more of the workload. And in turn, that leads to friction. And then obviously just a break off after a while, where the parties just don't get along anymore. My recommendation would be to Cancers, don't have the high expectations that you have emotionally for everybody, just because certain like mutable signs are not going to have that sort of discipline that you have, or that sort of passion where it's like you're just ready to start and get things done quickly and efficiently. They may not have that within them. So if you let go of those expectations and more so give out tasks to somebody like a Sagittarius, it may work better. If it's the other way around, with the Sagittarius is more the boss in this and they're the person that had the idea, my recommendation to Cancer again would be to just make sure they fix it on their ideas. And if you see it as something that's logical, make sure that they keep on task and actually do it day by day. So as the Cancer person, you kind of have to be a bit of on a micromanagement scale when it comes to business with Sagittarius, but it could work out because the Sagittarius people are very, very intellectual. You just got to know how to work with them to make things work. Last but not least, it's friendships. 27% all the way across, guys. I'm not changing that number. Friendships barely last between these two. Like I was saying with Cancer and Scorpio, they'll meet each other in a classroom and get along. These guys will meet each other in a classroom and actually not like each other. They're the type of people that will just say, well, there's something just about this person that I don't like. They may have did something that they just don't really respect from them. And it causes a bunch of friction. It makes them just say, this person just has an aura about them that I just can't correspond with. This is just the fact that they're fire and water, and the way in which that their energies are projected just lead to friction within the energy field. This is even outside the physical realm. This goes to a whole other chapter that we'll be discussing in 2022. So my recommendation between these two would just be either stay away from each other, or if there is a friendship acquaintanceship going on, make sure you guys do have some commonality. Like I said, you're doing something recreational, or it's going to lead to business or intimacy of some sort. Because without like a foundation of a reason for you guys to be around each other, there really isn't much of a reason for you guys to really interconnect, if that makes sense. All right, so that should conclude the video, guys. I understand this one's a little bit rougher. It's not the most positive video, but I like to give you guys the realities of how these signs interconnect with each other. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, just please leave it in the comments for me. But aside from that, guys, like, subscribe, holla at me. That's it for today, guys. Peace.